This will be the most important matchday 23 Simon Easterby has ever put out as interim coach for Ireland. A must-win game versus Italy in Italy, and a must-win game by as many points as possible. Here's my predicted Ireland squad to take on Italy this weekend. As always, let me know in the comments what changes would you make, who would you bring in, who would you leave out, who needs to be there. Let me know in the comments. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already. Let's get into it. So Ireland off the back of a huge defeat to France at the Viva. Irish fans, how are you feeling? I'm not Irish, but been covering Ireland now for a couple of years, and to be honest, that one got me. That French game, that got me. I did not expect that at all. Just touching on it quickly. Irish fans, how are you guys feeling? How's things feeling that side of the world? Is there still hope? There's still belief that we can, or Ireland can go and do it this weekend? Can definitely do it versus Italy. By how much is the big question. What's the question, or what's the talk around selections? Is there players that need to be dropped? Is there other players that need to be brought into the squad? What changes need to be made? We're going to get straight into it. Here's my predicted squad to take on Italy this weekend. You've got Andrew Porter, Dan Sheehan, Finlay Bealham up front, Joe McCarthy and Tyg Byrne at locks, back row of Jack Conan, Josh Van der Fleer and Caelan Doris, Jamison Gibson-Park and Sam Prendergast, 9 and 10. Centres, Robbie Henshaw and Gary Ringrose, and then back three of James Lowe, Mac Hansen, Hugo Keenan. This is going off, everyone is fit and ready to go. I'm recording this early in the week, so I'm not too sure on the injury front. I don't know who's healthy, who's ready to go. James Lowe obviously pulled out injured in the warm-up of the French game. Mac Hansen, there's an injury cloud there, or he was dropped because of Jamie Osborne's inclusion. There's a lot of talking points here, and we're gonna get into some of the reasons why. As always, let me know in the comments what changes would you make, who needs to be in, who isn't there, who needs to come in, who needs to not be in there, who I've named. Let me know in the comments. So up front, Andrew Porter, Finlay Bealham, and Dan Sheehan. It's your strongest available front row. I'm not sure what Tyg Furlong's injury update or health is looking like at the moment. But again, he also hasn't played rugby for a long time. Throwing him in there, yes, it is against Italy, but still, match fitness, the risk of re-injuring is a big problem as well. So I've gone with this. Front row is good. Like Dan Sheehan played out of his skin. I thought Porter and Bealham really did as much as they could. They held that scrum at the start, and I think they did really well. On the bench, I've got Ronan Callagher, Jack Boyle, and Thomas Clarkson. Again, giving Boyle a bit of, or more experience there. Only made his debut versus Wales. I think he's got a bright future for Ireland in the front row. Ronan Callagher is obviously, there's injury cloud over that. There's Rob Herring did well when he came on last week. So again, I'm recording this earlier. I just wanted to get it out, and this is off the back of hopefully everyone is fit and ready to go. So that's my makeup of the front row there. For the locks, I've got Joe McCarthy and Tyg Byrne, and on the bench, I've got Ryan Beard. Besides the silly mistake that Joe McCarthy made of pulling Thomas Ramos back and he got the yellow card, I thought they played well. They got stuck in. Yes, they come up against a lot more physical squad in France, but you can only look forward now. Yes, we can look back a little bit to learn from it, but you can only look forward now. You're looking forward to Italy. While Italy are also very physical, all forwards are physical at international level. They play with the ball a little bit more. They like to move the ball around. They've got very exciting backs, and they want their forwards to accommodate that. So you still need mobile forwards. And looking at the Irish squad and the makeup of the squad at the moment, Joe McCarthy and Tyg Byrne are your best locks. Really, really good carrying the ball, good in the air, good line-outs as well. So I'm not too sure what's going to happen with the sighting of, I think it was Porter and Byrne that were potentially being cited for that clean-out on DuPont. Honestly, my quick 2 cents on that is I think it was just a rugby injury. I don't think anyone goes out to intentionally cause injury like that. Unfortunate how they is very ugly how they landed. So I'm not too sure how that one's going to play out. My back row, I've gone with Jack Conan, Josh Van der Fleer, and Kalen Doris. Jack Conan, the impact he's brought on into this Irish squad has been immense. I think he deserves a starting spot. While Peter O'Mahony, it was great to have his last game at home, I think they need to start moving on now. While it is, yes, it's the last game of the Six Nations, moving on from that needs to happen now. And I think Jack Conan fits that number 6 role perfectly. Josh Van der Fleer, Kalen Doris go without saying. These guys are just work on work and proper leaders, lead by example type players in this Irish forward pack. On the bench, I've got Cian Prendergast, energy, work rate, bigger body, strong. That's what you want. You want that energy off the bench. And it's also giving more inexperienced guys experience. Get them out there. That moving on from the older generation has to happen sometime. So I've got that there. Who else would you guys have on the bench there to come on as a back row sub? Please let me know in the comments. 9 and 10, I've gone with Jamison Gibson-Park, Sam Prendergast. Gibson-Park speaks for himself. I don't want to talk too much on Gibson-Park because he picks himself. He's elite at his craft, one of the best. Sam Prendergast, this is... As you guys know, I'm a big Sam Prendergast fan, wanting to start a Sam Prendergast fan club. Big Prendergast fan. Was up against it last week versus France. Let's be honest, was up against it. Forward pack got dominated. When your forward pack gets dominated as a fly-off, it makes your game so much harder. There was a couple of times where, while I say it feels like he's got so much time on his hands, in the French game, he got caught out. I think that a lot of times maybe too flat, where France's rush defense caught them out a few times there. Obviously, his intercept pass, where he ran back and chased the whole way back. Still kicked really well off the tee. So I think it's just a matter of giving him just time in the saddle. He's got all the skills, the kicking ability, his reading of the game. That there's no questions around that. It's more time now of backing him. And this is where, as your 10, you want to be backed, full backing from the team, from the coach. But if Jack Crowley gets the nod above him here, I won't have too much pushback on it. Crowley, every time he's got the opportunity off the bench, he's come on and he's brought the energy in whatever position it may be, fullback, centre. He's done an absolute job there. So if they go with Crowley to start at 10 for this game, I totally get it and won't have too much pushback on it. The only little pushback I'll have is that your 10 is not going to have a good game every single game, and you need to back him. You need to back him. My centres, I've gone with Robbie Henshaw, Gary Ringrose. Gary Ringrose will have sat out his 2-week suspension and be back in there. I've gone with Bundy Aki on the bench, mainly because of the impact he brings on for that last 20, 30 minutes. We saw it versus Wales. It worked really, really well. Is he getting to that point of his career where that 20, 30 minutes is prime for him? He can come on when the opposition are worn out. Bundy Aki comes on, he brings the energy, makes 2 or 3 turnovers, strong 4, 5, 6 tackles, 10 carries with the ball where he's getting over that vantage line. Easy at that part of his career. Just a question mark there, but I've gone with Robbie Henshaw and Gary Ringrose here. We know what those guys are bringing as well. They've got the good partnership together at Leinster. And they're tireless when it comes to work rate, when it comes to carrying the ball, defense. They're going to get up. Their second efforts are second to none. My back three, James Lowe, Mac Hansen, Hugo Keenan. Hoping these guys are fit and ready. Hugo Keenan goes without saying. He was one of the best for Ireland on the field last week. He always is one of the best for Ireland whenever selected. Safe as houses at the back. And you know what you're getting from him. My wingers, man, I think Ireland lacked a bit of creativity from their wingers versus France. Yes, probably didn't have a lot of opportunity. But that's where James Lowe and Mac Hansen come into the field, where they go looking for opportunity. They go looking for the ball. And whether those opportunities weren't created on the weekend versus France, I think they really lacked in that department. And I hope Lowe and Hansen are fit and ready to go for this game. If not, I would love to have bring Stockdale in there, because he's someone that can pull a rabbit out of the bag. That can do a little chip kick and pull something off. He's got a big handoff, where I'm seeing guys like, well, I love Jamie Osborne, and he brings that excitement. There's a lot happening. Same with Calvin Nash. I just don't think that those guys can create something out of nothing, if that makes sense. And I'm like, if they get picked, I'll back them and that, but do you know what I'm saying, Irish fans? Like, I feel like Lowe and Hansen and Stockdale even, they could pull something out of nothing, where Osborne and Nash, you know what you're getting from them, but it's a straight up and down. They're not creating too much. I hope that's not too harsh on those players, but that's what I feel about that. So, and there it is. Let me know what you guys think. What changes would you make? Again, this is a monster game. Ireland have to win it, no doubt, but they have to score as much points as they humanly possibly can, if that's even the right way of saying it. Let me know in the comments. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.